Hello, in this video, we're going to talk about what if you're managing a relatively small team, just maybe 1, 2, 3 people that you're managing that report directly to you. How do you manage performance when it's such a small team? Let me share some essential basics that helps you foster a high-performing team that thrives together. In a small team, each individual's performance and mood significantly affects the overall group dynamics. So you want to be sure that whatever feedback you have, whatever performance issues arise, they are addressed constructively, but also in such a way that they don't cause somebody to completely change their mood, to be completely frustrated, even angry or sad, because the whole team will be dragged into that. You have to address them head on because quite likely in a small team, you're all so interconnected in the work that you do that any performance need to be addressed right up, else somebody else will be carrying the burden of that lower performance. So it's essential that you as a leader address this as fast as you can in a constructive way, in a positive, forward-looking way, without putting any blame, but really to try to fix these things as soon as you can. Then it is important that you find that balance between frequency of feedback versus overloading people with ideas on how they could improve their performance. Because the team is so small, all your feedback is only to the 1, 2, or maybe 3 people that are in your team. And it's tempted because you are so close to them to give them as much feedback as you can. It is generally very appreciated to get more feedback. And if you look at the statistic, you actually see that many people would wish that they have more feedback from their manager. But in your case, when a team is so small, make sure that you balance this right. The same goes for balancing between maybe there is one person who performs better than the other. It's tempted to always go and work with the lower performer to get them at the same speed as the other performer. But quite frankly, people just perform at different levels, and you're going to come to peace with it that everybody is working at their own pace. As long as their performance is matching their seniority and their role, then it is okay that people are at their different pace. It is for you to balance and to be that situational leader that gives each of these 2 or 3 people on your team exactly the type of leadership that they need. Another thing that plays a role in managing performance of a small team is to emphasize this autonomy and give autonomy wherever possible, leverage strengths wherever you can. Most likely, as a manager of a small team, the reason you were put as a manager is because either part of your time you are still a little bit of an individual contributor with your own projects and your own tasks, and you only have limited time to manage others, or the work that they do is so knowledge intense that you as a manager need to sit down with them way more regularly than if you're managing a team of 20 people that have very predictable tasks and a very predictable way of working, and they don't need your handholding as much as they need in a team of 2. So when you're managing performance, make sure that this is all taken care of and that you find a right balance between you doing your own tasks and managing the other people's tasks, or you sitting down enough to provide that content expertise that they need from you and that they look up from you. When you have that feedback conversation, this means that this is not just a one-way street, which actually it never is. It's not just a two-way street. It doesn't mean you're discussing that person from 2 angles. Hey, this is my view on your performance. What's your view on your performance? No, it is a 4-way street. It means you're discussing that person from your view and their view, and then you're discussing your leadership, your contribution from your view and from their view. The feedback coming back to you, the receiving feedback from a small team is so important because you're working in that small, tight situation where everybody's contribution matters so much. So make sure that you actively solicit feedback from these people on your team, and you can do the best job as a manager and in the contribution that you do to the team. It's fun if you work in a fantastic, well-functioning small team, and I'm hoping that you're able to achieve that. I know inside of you, you have everything it takes to navigate this situation and be a great manager to that small team, and maybe eventually rise to a bigger team, or maybe actually stay with a small team. Either is fine. Just make sure you enjoy it as long as it is, because in the end, if you don't enjoy your role as a manager, what's it all for? It should be fun, it should be great, and you should be learning a thing or two along the way. I'll keep an eye out and good luck. Just wanted to share something super helpful for you. I created a free cheat sheet full of scripts, words, sentences to use in the most tricky feedback situations, such as giving feedback to a new hire, giving feedback to your boss, or giving feedback to that team member who thinks they're such a great performer, but actually they have so much to work on. I've put the link in the notes below. Make sure you grab it right away because you want to keep this one at hand for whenever you face any of these tricky situations. If this video was helpful, please hit like or leave some love in the comments. It really helps us get this video in front of more incredible leaders like yourself. And if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe. I wouldn't want you to miss any of the videos that I'm going to be sharing here in the future. Thank you so much for being here. Your support means the world.